Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and hummingbird wings. Golden, I'll follow only golden. Golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden. I'll follow only golden, golden things. Walk up the river by my sun. Feet step over splinters of the moon.
Hello friends, and welcome to our very first Patreon exclusive vlog. I am so excited to be sharing these videos with you and getting to know all of you a little bit better. So for today's video, I want to take you along with me to cross off one of the items on my summer bucket list, which is create a summer reading list. I've been so excited for summer reading. It's something I enjoy every single year, and last year I read so many wonderful books during the summer, so I'm so excited to celebrate the start of the season by making a summer reading list. One thing I want to keep in mind with my list is I really don't want to make it too long. Last summer I wrote out like 10 or 15 books that I wanted to include for my summer reading, and it was just way too much, and I think I was a little bit too overambitious, and then I ended up not being able to read all of the books on my list. This year I want to keep it really short, maybe only 4 or 5 books max, just so that I'm not overwhelming myself with everything I have to read, and then I can really enjoy each book. So if you haven't already made a summer reading list, I invite you to join me on this activity and write your own summer reading list alongside me as I make mine. And I would love to hear which books you're reading this summer, so please feel free to add your reading list in the comments below and share with me and the community. So at the very top of my list, I have Daisy Jones and the Six and Malibu Rising, both by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm so excited to read these two because last summer I read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and it was so good. It was one of my favorite books that I read all year, and it was something that I was able to finish in just 2 days. From like the first 2 chapters, I was hooked on the book. I couldn't put it down, and I'm really excited to read Daisy Jones and the Six because I love the series on Amazon Prime. They turned the book into a TV show, and it's wonderful. It's probably one of my favorite shows of all time, but I haven't actually read the book yet, so I'm going to read that. Next on my list is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. This is a book that I feel like so many people have recommended to me, and I haven't had a chance to read it yet, and I've heard that it's very well written and very heartwarming, so I think that's going to be a great summer read. Next on my list is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout. This was a book that was recommended to me after reading the Throne of Glass series. I love the Sarah J. Maas books like ACOTAR and Throne of Glass, and a few people have told me that the Blood and Ash series is in that same fantasy romance genre. And last on my list is a book I've been wanting to read for such a long time. It's Stardust by Neil Gaiman. I love the movie adaptation of the book. I've seen it probably 20 times, and it's so good. I love the actors and just how magical and whimsical the world is. But I haven't actually read the book, and I've heard that it's wonderful, so that one is going on my list as well. Okay friends, so now that we've made our summer reading list, I want to take you along with me and go into town and see if the bookstore has anything on my list. So let's get going. So I just got back from the bookstore, and they did have a couple of the books on my list. The first one is Daisy Jones and the Six, and I know I mentioned the show earlier, but I wanted to tell you a little bit more about what this book is actually about. It's set in the late 60s and 70s in California, and it's about a girl named Daisy who is a really talented musician, and kind of her story about discovering her talent for music and then later on joining a band called the Six, who is led by the other main character, a man named Billy Dunn. There are a few different storylines going on at the same time about the different members of the band and their families and what's going on in their personal lives and their relationships. And there's so much growth that happens with each character, at least in the show. That was something that I really loved about it. Taylor Jenkins Reid was heavily inspired by the band Fleetwood Mac when she wrote this book, and they're one of my favorite bands of all time, so it was really interesting and fun to watch the show, and now I'm very excited to read the book version of this story. At the bookstore, they also had a copy of Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I think I'm going to start with this book today. I'm so excited to read it. It says right on the cover, if summer could somehow fit into a book, then you'd find it in Malibu Rising, and that sounds like the perfect way to start my summer reading. From what I understand, this book takes place on only one day. It is the main character Nina Riva's annual end of the summer party set in Malibu in 1983. It says on the back, Malibu Rising is the story about one unforgettable night in the life of a family, the night that they each have to choose what they will keep from the people who made them and what they will leave behind. I'm so excited to read this. I wish I could start right now, but I do have a little bit of freelance work I have to work on first before I start reading today. Oh, and there is one more thing I wanted to show you that I got from the bookstore, but it's not a book, it's actually some matches. So these are from the brand Archivist, and they're these really nice, long, really premium safety matches, and I really like using them whenever I light candles. I've shown them in my videos a few times, but they're a really wonderful gift, especially if you give someone a box of these matches with a candle. Okay friends, so I'm gonna go get some work done, and then I will see you back later for some reading time.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane, and as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. A bigger scale, the world inhales as we go. I wouldn't want it any other way, no. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy.
Malibu Rising is so good so far. I'm only a few chapters in and I'm already hooked. Taylor Jenkins Reid is such an amazing author. She's so creative in how she tells a story and how she structures her books. The story is going hour by hour throughout this one day in the lives of this family, and then it's also jumping back and forth from the past into the present to tell a little bit more about the background. I can't wait to keep reading this and all of the other books on my summer reading list, and I will definitely keep all of you updated on when I finish this and what I think of it. Before we say goodbye, I just wanted to take a moment to thank all of you so much for being here and supporting my Patreon. I've poured so much love and time and energy into YouTube over the past year, and to be completely honest, when I started my channel a year ago, I promised myself that I would give myself a year to decide whether or not I would try to become a full-time YouTuber and content creator, because as many of you probably know, it can be really difficult to start a YouTube channel and get to the point where you're sustaining yourself off of your YouTube and the different income streams that come from that. And because I've been doing freelance work at the same time alongside YouTube, it has been so much work for me. I haven't really taken many days off since I started because I'm working way more than 40 hours a week in order to do YouTube on top of everything else that I have to do for work. My fiance Alex has also poured so much time and effort into my channel. He is a videographer and video editor, and he's taught me so much about creating my channel, and he's also helped me a ton with filming and editing, and if it weren't for him, I know I wouldn't have been able to grow my channel to this point. But over the past year, Alex and I have invested so many hours into working on videos without being paid and without knowing if it was going to get to the point where it would be able to make enough money for us. I've also really intentionally not taken brand deals and sponsorships because I've really wanted to focus on the experience of all of you as you watch my videos. And that's not to say there's anything wrong with creators taking brand deals. I just didn't feel like it was the right decision for me at that time as I grew my channel. But I always knew I wanted to start a Patreon eventually because I'm a patron of several of my favorite creators, and it's just such a wonderful model of community supported art and creativity. You've all brought so much joy and light and positivity to my days through your comments on YouTube, and I wanted to be able to give a little bit of that back to you. Especially in my adult life, being in my late 20s, it's been really hard for me to find and connect with like-minded people in real life because I'm not a part of any clubs or community organizations at this time, and so it's been really hard to find people who enjoy the same things I do. And when I started my channel, it was just such an amazing feeling to get to meet other people online who shared my interests and who I could relate to in so many ways. Over the past year, I've grown to consider so many of you my friends and digital pen pals, and I'm so excited to continue that here on this platform. So my friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, please feel free to leave comments in the description below if there are any suggestions for future videos that you would like to see, and I will see you all very soon. Good night, friends.